yesterday, and I think I'm still in the lead. I think I should take the back roll, let you guys go first, and deal with the time left over.
Why does it sound patronizing when you say it like that?
Well, because I guess I can't.
Everything he says sounds patronizing.
I give my I cede my
go.
time to the fine, gentle lady from parts north Seattle somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Pepper spray, tasers, alarms, personal security is a multi-billion-dollar business. But now there's a new product that alerts you to nearby danger so you can stay away. But it turns out there's one big problem with this new security app. And I will tell you what it is. It is very interesting, and people will just use it totally different. So if you want to hear that, text the word candy to 98973 or something interesting about the story, Mike.
My story is about a California company that is going to start selling a personal transportation device that can speed you along at 150 miles an hour for 45 miles, and it goes on sale next year, and you don't need roads.
Ooh.
Where we're going.
Do you need a tube?
We don't need any roads.
You could have a tube, but you don't need one.
If you want to hear Mike's story, text Mike's story to 98973.
Okay, now you go.
All right, so politics, you want to make sure you're not living in glass houses. There was an opposition research dump on Tucker Carlson where Tucker said some pretty stupid things back in the day, trying to be glib and funny on Spongy the Bubba show. And some of it came across really bad. It sounded like he was defending the rape of children by Warren Jeffs. However, there is another side to this glass house. Because inside that glass house was the person who's the president of the organization who issued said audio of Tucker Carlson. So what is inside that glass house? If you want to hear what's inside that glass house, text Todd's story to 98973. And I will tell you. In fact, I'll let Tucker tell you what's inside that glass house. Intrigued?
Yeah. Candy, Mike, or Todd, send your message in now to 98973. Then be listening 406. You can see if your pick made it out on top here in just a few minutes.
And this next hour, to the text line, some messages that you can send when you're done voting on 98973. How would you, if you were the czar of Seattle homeless policy, how would you hold accountable the city's partners who are dealing with homelessness? If you were to give them a grade, what grade would you give Seattle on, and I say specifically, getting people housed? You can do that at 98973, and we'll get into that as well. So, Tracy Taylor, let me ask this question about these card games that Candy was trying to trick me into.
Sure, what about them?
All right,
Cards
so
Against Humanity?
Cards Against Humanity. You're saying they're good for ages 22 and up, so absolutely bad for teenagers, right?
No.
I wouldn't be playing. I'm sorry. My nephews are anywhere between the ages of 14 and 18, and I wouldn't play it with them. I know that they probably play it, but no. As their auntie, I would not be playing.
Exploding Kittens, also a good one.
What?
See, this is what I'm saying. We're going to have a meeting a little bit later.
How do you not know that game? It was
Because
the most successful Kickstarter in history.
I don't explode kittens.
Oh, my gosh.
It's the title of the game.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I want to hear some civilized traffic reporting.
How about apples to apples?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tracy Taylor, let's get some civilized traffic reporting instead of all these games about killing cats.
Still going to take you about an hour to get from Bellevue to Federal Way, a little over a half an hour from Federal Way heading into downtown Seattle, but your Federal Way to Tacoma Drive is about 40 minutes longer than what it should be for this afternoon, and that's because of some earlier issues out near the 5-city limit. Speaking of, an earlier backup on that northbound 5 drive into the city, starting to slow down not only around the Michigan curb, but outside of the convention center. That continues into Mount Lake Terrace, and drivers are starting to experience some delays coming across the water. More on that coming up here at 4:03. KIRO Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Tracy Taylor.
The sound of the money you'll save with stress-free pricing and financing. Come in for a stress-free experience at Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event now through April 1st.
Miss today's edition of your favorite KIRO radio show?
Good job.
You got to tune into the current pop culture.
Don't wait to catch up. Listen today on demand on the KIRO radio app and mynorthwest.com/podcasts.
Or just stay home and listen to the radio.
Hey, losing weight can seem sometimes like that silly game, Chutes and Ladders. That's a cruel game because you think you're getting there. You get a ladder, then you get a chute. And I don't think you win anything if you actually win Chutes and Ladders. It can seem that way, right? Because you lose weight, take a slide down. The reason, well, not the reason, but one of the key difference makers for me in 30-10 weight loss for life is I never had that experience. Yes, I lost 85 pounds. I lost it relatively quickly. I've kept that off for 4 years. I did have weeks where I didn't lose weight. And you know what I had? Is that a company, 30-10 Weight Loss for Life, founded by healthcare providers who sat down and figured out, hey, you took this misstep. Then the weight loss continued. I also was weighing in on scales these are not eyeball things, okay? It's not how do you look. Are you, first of all, losing the visceral fat? That's the stuff inside your body that can squeeze your lungs, actually makes you snore. In other words, it's the stuff that's bad for you. Then there's the fat that, I want to look a little bit skinnier. The for life part is so real, right? Because the chutes and ladders things, that's what we don't want. Why don't you call them? They've got locations all around the Puget Sound. Stop playing chutes and ladders with weight loss. Call 3010 Weight Loss for Life, 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010.
Is your home under attack? Think about it. Record cold, ice, and snowfall is causing havoc not only to the outside of your home, but creating discomfort inside. Hi, I'm Adrian, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter has come out swinging, and to help you through it all, Lake Washington Windows is offering Milgard's state-of-the-art Sun Coat Max Glass. This technology reduces heat loss during the cold winter and heat gain through the hot summer. Translation? You'll feel more comfortable in your home throughout the year. And of course, a window's only as good as the installation. Lake Washington Windows' exclusive Leak Armor process utilizes layers of adhesive flashing, polyurethane sealants, and fasteners to keep moisture and frigid air out. So with Milgard's Sun Coat Max Glass and our exclusive Leak Armor installation, you'll be ready for any weather the Northwest brings. This month, we're offering to pay your sales tax and give you a free upgrade to Milgard's Sun Coat Max Glass. Plus, don't forget to ask us about our financing options. Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Good afternoon, Insurance and Customer Service. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about my medicine costs. They seem to keep going up.
How can I help?
Well, aren't you supposed to help by negotiating and holding down costs?
Oh, well, we do negotiate discounts, yes.
Okay, then why am I paying full price? Hello?
Medicine costs are growing at the slowest rate in years. But unfortunately, it doesn't always feel that way. 40% of a medicine's list price is given as a rebate or discount to the government and middlemen like insurers and pharmacy benefit managers. These rebates and discounts exceed $150 billion. But insurers don't always share these discounts with you. Patients share the cost. They should share the savings. Join the conversation at letstalkaboutcost.org. Paid for by the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America.
Imagine a financial services partner fully invested in your success. I'm John Ramsire with Baird. Baird was founded on the simple premise that clients come first. Being privately held has kept that idea front and center for a century. Because, as employee owners, all of us at Baird know our success depends on yours. You and Baird. Imagine where we can go together.
Visit BairdSeattle.com.
Come to Shane Company for a gift that's easy to love. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
And I'm Alicia, our lead designer. Jewelry essentials are classic pieces that every woman should own. They make perfect gifts because she can wear them with anything. At Shane Company, we have all the essentials. Diamond studs, diamond hoop earrings, diamond pendants, tennis bracelets, and statement rings with diamonds, sapphires, and rubies. My team is always redesigning the basics to make them anything but basic. They still look classic, but our unique details make them beautiful from every angle. Far more special than the plain styles sold everywhere else.
Come in and see our excellent craftsmanship. You can feel how substantial each piece is because we make all of our jewelry to last a lifetime.
Ladies, treat yourself or put these essentials on your wish list. You deserve something beautiful that you can wear forever.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
A reunion in Paris ends up in Paris, Texas? No worries. Stay at Hampton by Hilton with over 2,400 locations and free breakfast at Hampton.com.
Hey homeowners, do you feel like you're stuck on the credit card treadmill? Are you stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are just too high? Well, this is Brock Ewart for Tila Mortgage with a solution. Home values in our area have risen dramatically, which means you probably have significant equity in your own home. A cash-out refinance with TILA can put that money back in your pocket. Make a fresh start this year by consolidating that lingering credit card debt, student loans, home equity lines of credit, or second mortgages. Interest rates are predicted to rise again, so cashing out your home equity now could be your best decision. TILA Mortgage has been part of our community for over 20 years, and whether it's a refinance or home purchase, they are ready to help. TILA, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call TILA Mortgage today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILAmortgage.com. Powered by Hometown Lenders, NMLS 65084.
KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM. Online at mynorthwest.com and streaming on the KIRO Radio app. KIRO FM, Tacoma, Seattle. News and talk. Powered by the Pacific Northwest.
The Senate rejects the president's national emergency.
The yeas are 59. The nays are 41.
Winter won't stop in the nation's midsection.
The bomb cyclone is not done.
Was it a mob hit in New York?
Francesco Cali gunned down.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition, sponsored by the Capital One Saver Card.
The Senate today joined the House in rejecting the president's national emergency declaration to free up money for a border wall. CBS's Bill Rakoff.
A number of Republicans crossed lines to vote with Democrats on the resolution of disapproval, which essentially terminates the president's emergency declaration. Senator Mitt Romney of Utah explains his vote for the resolution was about the Constitution and not the issue itself.
This is not about the president or about border security. In fact, I support border security. I support the construction of a border barrier.
This is a stinging congressional rebuke for the president, who says he'll use the first veto of his administration on the resolution. It's not expected that Congress will have the votes to override that veto. Bill Rakoff, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
It has been a brutal 24 hours for the central U.S. as a vicious winter storm, a so-called bomb cyclone, has dropped heavy snow from Colorado to Minnesota, along with winds gusting to hurricane force. Robert Paget lives in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Visibility is zero. There's blown snow, tremendous amounts of drifting. It's anywhere from 10 to 15 inches.
And it's not over yet. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
As long as you have wind gusts that are above 35 miles an hour and you have visibility less than a quarter of a mile, you have a blizzard. It doesn't have to be snowing, and that's why we're really concerned about the blizzard conditions and the treacherous driving conditions.
East of the snow line, it's been heavy rain.
You combine rain that's heavy with melting snow, because there's been a ton of snow in parts of the Midwest, and you have a recipe for disaster. There are flash flood warnings in the Omaha area for Iowa, parts of Nebraska, Kansas.
The storm forced the National Guard to rescue motorists stranded on snow-covered highways. It's been more than 3 decades since there was a mob hit in New York City. But that lull in violence appears to have come to an end in Staten Island last night. WCBS reporter Sean Adams.
Was it a coup d'etat, a power struggle, a grudge? Reputed Gambino boss, 53-year-old Francesco Cali, gunned down outside his Staten Island home, his wife and children inside. It was in 1985, the last mob boss murder in New York City. Gambino head Paul Castellano killed outside a Manhattan steakhouse. A hit orchestrated by capo John Gotti, the future Dapper Don. Frank Cali, reportedly the polar opposite of Gotti, more old school, low profile.
A lackluster day on Wall Street. The Dow gained 7 points. Now this.
Brought to you by the new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. What's in your wallet?
Boeing halts deliveries of 737 MAX airplanes for now. The story coming up after KIRO Radio Real-Time Traffic with Tracy Taylor.
So as for blocking incidents right now, nothing reported by DOT, but we are looking at some pretty lengthy drive times from Federal Way to Bellevue, sitting at 38 minutes. Our Federal Way to Tacoma Drive sitting at 50, which is a half an hour longer than what it should be for this time of the afternoon. It's busy outside of the convention center. Actually, it starts from about Lake City Way through the convention center. And again, heading up South Center Hill. Nothing but brake lights between 320th and heading out towards the Dome. Drivers drivers in Lakewood are starting to see a few more brake lights, especially for those of you that are just getting past Bridgeport. I'm looking at some slowing around Gravelly Lake Drive, and that continues past the base. 512, a little bit busier between I-5 heading out towards Canyon. You have some slowing around the South Hill Mall. 16 looks good through Gig Harbor. Again, drivers over on the east side are feeling the pinch. Northbound 405 between South Center outside of the curves, and once again getting into Kirkland, there's a little bit of hesitation as we leave the Damson Road. Traffic is going to be a little bit on the slower side as well if you're headed westbound on 520 coming off the bridge and eastbound 90 near that 405 interchange. Traffic brought to you by Sound Glass. Use your tax return on new windows and doors from Sound Glass that'll elevate the value and beauty of your home. Visit soundglass.com to get started. KIRO Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Tracy Taylor.
Now, from the KIRO Radio Newsroom and streaming on the KIRO Radio app.
Boeing is temporarily halting delivery of its 737 MAX airplanes. Aviation industry consultant Scott Hamilton says he's not surprised by the decision after the model was grounded following Sunday's accident in Ethiopia. It was the second deadly crash involving a 737 MAX 8.
I'm estimating maybe as long as 6 weeks that the airplanes would be grounded and the deliveries would be halted.
Boeing says there's been no change to production rates of the planes made in Renton. The 737 MAX jets are banned from flying in most countries right now, including the U.S. The Washington State Patrol says speed may have been a factor in a deadly motorcycle accident in Seattle this morning. A biker died when he crashed on I-5 near the Mercer Street exit. As the measles outbreak continues in Washington, state lawmakers want to send a message to Congress. KIRO Radio's Hannah Scott explains.
Democratic State Senator Emily Randall's proposal would call on Congress to repeal a decades-old rule that shields drug makers from civil liability over vaccines.
So that when family does have true adverse reaction, that they're able to hold big pharma accountable.
The hope is repealing those protections would make parents who opt out of vaccines because they don't trust big pharma more comfortable.
Of the 73 measles cases in our state, most are among unvaccinated children. State lawmakers in the House are considering a bill that would get rid of the personal exemption for the MMR vaccine. Another bill in the House would require presidential candidates to make at least 5 years of their tax returns public if they want to be on Washington State's ballot. It passed the Senate this week, but some Republicans like Hans Zeiger oppose it.
Frankly, I think we are treading on unconstitutional grounds by trying to make law about a federal election.
However, Hawaii and New Jersey have passed those types of laws. State lawmakers are putting the brakes on a bill that would have allowed traffic cameras to ticket you for blocking intersections.
There were some concerns raised by the ACLU. They generally just don't like traffic safety cameras for personal privacy reasons.
Representative Joe Fitzgibbon plans to reintroduce his bill in the next legislative session. And now your forecast.
We will see more sunshine and warmer conditions in the forecast for Friday and into the weekend. From the KIRO 7 Pinpoint Weather Center, meteorologist Claire Anderson.
It's 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
From Kirkland to Queen Anne, this is KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM.
News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
This is the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show on KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM.
So some people are saying it's poverty tourism, or that it is glorifying homelessness. Some people call it an art installation. Is it all of those things? We're going to look into that. But truthfully, the 4 o'clock hour, it doesn't belong to Candy, Mike, or Todd. Our names are on the show. But the 4 o'clock hour, we've always said, well, I had never heard anyone else say it. We do the show for the people, not the powerful. This part of the show belongs to the people, for goodness sake.
Did everyone agree with you? Let's find out. Choose your news on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show.
Everybody probably agree with you. You make the best choices. Come on. We gave you a taste of our stories that we like today, and you've been texting your votes very creatively, I might add. Candy, Mike, or Todd to 98973. That's the Online Training Academy text line. From the 253, I have a need for speed and hopefully flying over traffic. Mike's story, please. He is going to tell you about a personal transportation device that is road-free. From the 425, I don't even need to hear the others. Candy, That's one big problem with a new personal security app. And from the 425, I missed the stories that you guys proposed, but since the lone conservative is outnumbered by liberals, I vote for Todd's story, which is about the glass house opposite of the gross Tucker Carlson remarks. And I'm not sure why that I'm considered a liberal, and then Mike is also considered a liberal, and then everyone else is considered a liberal. Is that what that text meant? And then you're not? Yeah, okay.
All right.
Choose your new scoreboard. Currently says Mike is sitting at 12, Todd at 15. I am at 8, and we do have a winner.
I'm the winner, and you're the loser, so I can learn how to lose.
Okay.
Loser.
Let's calm down. Todd, congratulations. You have it today.
Thank you very much. Remember that the losing stories, we'll get to those at the end of this hour. So there's a group out of Washington, D.C. They're called Media Matters, founded by a guy who was a muckraker and a dirt merchant on the right. And now he's a muckraker and a dirt merchant on the left. And what they do is they try to get conservative media people in trouble. So that's who got these examples of Tucker Carlson saying pretty stupid, asinine
Just kind of
things.
gross stuff.
Yeah. And he was trying to be funny, trying to play a role as I see it. And sometimes that stuff comes back to bite you. However, Tucker Carlson points out that the president of the organization started by David Brock, this guy's name is Angela Caruzone, in my judgment, sort of a mobbed up character in D.C. politics. He has some bigotry that he put on display and some anti-Semitism he put on some display and some cruel language he used against people who suffer from gender dysphoria. So Tucker Carlson favored his audience with a few examples of this cat who lives in a glass house.
In another post, KIRO described how a male coach at a Japanese high school had sexually abused female players. People in Japan were horrified by this, understandably. KIRO was not. His advice, quote, lighten up,
Yeah, Andrew kindly bleeped that so you didn't have to hear it. And then there's this one. There's a lot more, but we can't repeat most of the stuff on the air at KIRO Radio.
Later that month, KIRO, by now in a frenzy of racism, heaped praise on a former Ku Klux Klan leader. In still another post from the same period, KIRO described a Jewish man as being handsome, quote, despite his Jewry. KIRO didn't like the man's political views, but attributed them to, quote, his possession of several bags of Jewish gold.
Okay. That's the president of the organization who's throwing rocks at the glass house maybe Tucker Carlson lives in. I just wanted to make sure that we got fair play. Let me ask the question of the group. Anyone feel the need for good news? Anyone feel like, we just need something good in the world?
Always.
Okay. So what if I were to tell you about a young guy named Dylan Chittick? He's not involved in the college cheating scandal. His parents did not bribe anyone to get him into college. The cat used to be homeless, okay, but that kind of changed.
There's been a lot of people saying you're not going to achieve this, and me getting these acceptance letters kind of verifies what I've been saying, that I can do it and I will do it.
And it wasn't one acceptance letter and not two. You heard the plural. The young man got 17 college acceptance letters. He's in the Honor Society. He's class president. He's moved into permanent housing with his mom and his two younger brothers. And that is goodness.
That's sweet.
You okay?
It's sweet, especially this week if we've heard so many rich parents getting their dumb kids into school and we have to go, oh, that's okay. Oh, I understand. They're getting fined $1 million and we have to kind of accept that. I like to hear about the people that are trying hard that are being recognized.
Mm-hmm. And a young man like that getting an opportunity like this, that to me, I could sit and listen to that again. And that's what it means to me to have this opportunity. Mike, did that touch you deeply?
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the news equivalent of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Of course it makes you happy. I mean, but it also, whenever that is a news story, it tells you that there's a problem.
Wow, I was looking for good news, but you just made me really sad.
That's the truth.
I know it's the truth. I know. We all want college to be...
We've been talking about college admissions being corrupt and having problems
we were
all
just,
week.
I know. We're sharing all sorts of ideas on how to make it more affordable from across political spectrums and no spectrum. I know. It's why it's sad. But hey, God bless Dylan Chittick. Go get it done. Love it. Tracy Taylor... How's the traffic look?
Couple of blocking problems, one of which is on the west to Seattle